So the latest NFL draft intel coming from the Dallas Cowboys really furthers this suspicion about what they plan to do with the number 12 overall pick. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. Earlier in the week, we talked about how Mel Kiper Jr. has been mocking running back Omarion Hampton to the Cowboys, but still, it's a little bit difficult to fully buy into the idea that the Cowboys will use the 12th overall selection in a running back that is not named Ashton Ginty. And in fact, if you ask me, what is the likeliest position the Cowboys will address top 15 in the NFL draft? I have to say wide receiver. Now, this is because of several reasons, but mostly it's because I believe the need for wide receiver is as urgent as it gets for Dallas. They can find a running back, maybe even in day 3, but a wide receiver that can make a legit impact on what the Cowboys offense looks like in 2025. I don't think it's realistic to believe they will find one in round 2 and beyond. I think if they want to find someone that they want makes an impact, it's got to be top 15 in the draft. Now, whether that's Ted McMillan from Arizona, Luther Burden from Missouri, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, or Matthew Golden, I don't know. But that's what I believe. The Cowboys cannot run out there with Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, Kevontae Turpin as their number 2/number 3 wide receivers. I don't see that working out in 2025. Earlier in the week, I broke down the top 30 visits the Cowboys have scheduled for A to Z Sports, and one of the biggest takeaways from me was wide receiver is near the top of the priorities list, and that's because by last week, they had scheduled visits for Ted McMillan, Egbuka, and Burden. The one first-round wide receiver prospect that was missing from the list was Golden. But on Tuesday, Jordan Schultz from Fox reported that Golden has a scheduled visit for the Cowboys. It will happen on Thursday of this week. So that means the Cowboys are looking at 4 of the 4 first-round wide receiver prospects considered for this year's class. So far, we know 16 of the 30 visits, by the way, and beyond those 4, there are no other wideouts, which means other than round 1 guys, we don't know that they're looking at anyone else beyond day 1, which also makes this a little bit more interesting because it might mean that they're interested in first round talent, but maybe not as much later in the draft. Now, again, I insist we still got to learn 14 more names, so more wide receivers might be on there, but so far we don't know about them. Golden being added to the list, to me, only furthers this suspicion that the Cowboys are seriously looking at wide receiver. Now, to be fair, there's also key offensive linemen in the list. There's Armand Membo from Missouri and Kelvin Banks from Texas. There's also several defenders the Cowboys could look at, and we might talk about that later in the week. But wide receiver keeps standing out. And based on where the Cowboys are picking, they might even get their shot at their preferred wideout. So let's stay tuned and see where this goes. But look for the Cowboys to be targeting wide receiver at 12th overall.